Today we are going to look at climate change and how one company is fighting it. We are going to look into Google's battle against climate change. But before we do that, we must understand an important question. What is climate change? We have all heard of global warming. It's one of the greatest buzzwords of the 21st century. But what is it? According to the United Nations, global warming refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts can be naturally caused. But since the 1800s, humans have been the main cause. Since then, temperatures have risen by 1.2 Celsius. That may sound good having warmer weather, but by the turn of this century, it is predicted to rise to 3 Celsius. A 3 Celsius shift in temperature would be almost cataclysmic. By 2030, it is said temperatures will increase to 1.5 Celsius. The effects of global warming can't be reversed in our lifetime. We can only try limit global warming through preventive measures. The United Nations have said that limiting global temperature rise to no more than 1.5 Celsius would help us avoid the worst climate impacts and maintain a livable climate. The consequences of climate change now include, among others, intense droughts, water scarcity, severe fires, rising sea levels, flooding, melting polar ice, catastrophic storms, and declining biodiversity.
Degrees of global warming would be catastrophic.
Heat waves, droughts, extreme precipitation, even fire. 3 degrees of warming is really disastrous.
Flames have reportedly reached 70 meters high. That's taller than the Sydney Opera House.
Winds leveled parts of Florida. Then the rain swallowed whole towns in North Carolina.
From its roots as a search engine, Google has grown into one of the world's most influential companies. But today, their goals go past technology. Google has committed itself to a major challenge combating global warming. As the effects of climate change become more pressing, companies worldwide are feeling the pressure to respond. Google has been a leader in this effort, and today we're diving into the ways they're working to make a sustainable, carbon-free future a reality. Google has set some ambitious climate goals. In 2007, they achieved carbon neutrality, meaning they offset all the carbon they produced. But in 2020, they announced an even bigger goal to run on carbon-free energy by 2030. Most companies aim for carbon neutrality, but Google is aiming to go beyond that. Their goal means every office, data center, and device powered by Google will run on clean, renewable energy all the time. This is a massive shift requiring new technology, bold strategies.
A data center is the brains of the internet.
The engine of the internet.
It is a giant building with a lot of power, a lot of cooling, and a lot of computers.
It's row upon row of machines, all working together to provide the services that make Google function.
Data centers are the backbone of Google's operations, powering everything from search to YouTube. These centers consume a lot of energy, so making them efficient is a top priority for Google. Google's data centers are 50% more energy efficient than the industry average. One breakthrough came with AI. Google partnered with DeepMind to use artificial intelligence for cooling its data centers, reducing energy usage for cooling by as much as 30%.
Custom designed and built for Google so that we can optimize the servers for hyper efficiency and high performance computing.
This AI system adjusts cooling in real time based on data to save energy wherever possible. Beyond efficiency, Google is a leader in renewable energy purchases. Since 2017, they've matched 100% of their electricity use with renewable energy purchases.
Google services help run the modern world, and like many other industries, our infrastructure is powered by electricity. As the digital economy grows, we're working to match our electricity demand with carbon-free sources every hour of every day. Since 2010, we have contracted with clean energy developers to add new solar and wind power to the grids that serve Google and other energy users. This has enabled Google to become one of the largest renewable energy customers in the world.
This means for every megawatt hour they use, they purchase the same amount from renewable sources like wind and solar. This commitment has made Google one of the largest corporate buyers of renewable energy in the world. And their goal by 2030? To rely entirely on carbon-free energy at every hour of every day. That requires working with energy providers to ensure that clean energy is available when they need it. Google is also investing in projects that absorb CO2 from the atmosphere. In addition to reducing its emissions, Google funds reforestation and forest protection projects. One example is the Wildlife Works Carbon Project in Kenya, which preserves forests, preventing millions of tons of CO2 from being released.
I could see that this was a massive change challenge. How do people and wildlife find a way to coexist using the same resources is a systems problem. It's a little bit science, it's a little bit engineering, but then it's mostly about people. In traditional conservation, I think they view people as the problem. The solution they developed was what we call fence and shoot conservation. Put a fence around the animals and shoot people that come in. For us, that's the exact wrong answer morally, and it's the exact wrong answer practically. You have to see people as the part of the solution. They have to want wildlife to be in their environment. They have to embrace a future for themselves and their community that includes wildlife, or there won't be wildlife.
By supporting projects like this, Google isn't just balancing its own footprint, it's helping ecosystems that play a critical role in fighting climate change. Google's use of artificial intelligence goes beyond its own operations. Google Earth Engine, for instance, uses satellite data to track changes to the Earth's ecosystems. This tool is helping researchers monitor deforestation. By providing this data, Google Earth Engine empowers scientists, policymakers, and environmental groups to make data-driven decisions. It's one way Google is using its resources to help others address climate challenges worldwide.
We are also harnessing AI for new breakthrough solutions. For example, we recently shared research that will help airline partners use AI to decrease contrails, a major contributor to global warming.
Google is also integrating sustainability into the products we use every day. Google Maps, for example, now offers eco-friendly routes that can reduce fuel consumption, helping users lower their carbon footprints. Google Search has also added climate-related tools like local recycling resources and information on eco-friendly practices. These small changes reach billions of users, encouraging sustainable choices and building awareness at a global scale. Google knows that true climate action takes global cooperation. That's why they've joined initiatives like the UN's Race to Zero, committing to net zero emissions across their entire supply chain. Google is also collaborating with governments, nonprofits, and companies to amplify their impact and support the development of more sustainable technology. Through these partnerships, Google is helping others adopt sustainable practices and accelerate the global shift to clean energy. Google's journey toward a carbon-free future by 2030 is ambitious. From their data centers to renewable energy projects and product features, Google is showing that tech companies can lead the fight against climate change. But climate action is a shared responsibility. With its resources, influence, and innovation, Google is setting an example and proving that large-scale change is possible. By leading the way, they're helping pave a path to a sustainable future that others can follow.